Some love stories fade when the spotlight moves on. Others grow richer in the quiet. On screen, these men played heartthrobs, heroes, and unforgettable icons. Off-screen, many built something even more compelling. Marriages, reconciliations, and enduring partnerships shaped by loyalty, family, forgiveness, and time. Let's step inside the lives that lasted after the cameras dimmed. Before we go any further, please leave a comment and tell us where you're watching from and what time it is there right now. It is always lovely to see this community gathering from so many different places. Mark Consuelos. Mark Consuelos, the dark-eyed charmer first adored on All My Children and later admired on Riverdale, turned daytime chemistry into real devotion. He married Kelly Ripa in 1996 after meeting on set. Their bond feels lively, loyal, and wonderfully seasoned, now carried through work, laughter, grown children, and a warm New York-centered life together. William Shatner. William Shatner, the commanding face of Star Trek and one of television's most enduring icons, has lived a love life as dramatic as any script. He married Elizabeth Martin in 2001, divorced in 2020, and later reconciled in spirit. Their story now reads less like a fairy tale and more like a late-life return to familiar comfort. Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox, the bright, beloved star of Family Ties and Back to the Future, found his true partner in actress Tracy Pollan. They married in 1988 after meeting through television. Their marriage has long been defined by tenderness, humor, and resilience, with family life in New York giving his remarkable journey a steady, graceful center. David Schwimmer. David Schwimmer, forever remembered as Ross on Friends, carried his thoughtful, understated charm into real life with artist Zoe Buckman. They married in 2010 and separated in 2017, choosing dignity over spectacle. Even after the romance ended, their story still reflects respect, co-parenting, and a calm family-first rhythm kept far from tabloid noise. Patrick Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey, the silver-haired romantic lead of Grey's Anatomy and Enchanted, built an equally compelling story at home with Gillian Dempsey. Married in 1999, they weathered a painful chapter and found their way back. Their marriage now feels deeper, steadier, and creatively matched, shaped by family, renewal, and a more private life between work and home. Eric Stonestreet. Eric Stonestreet, the big-hearted comic standout of Modern Family, found a softer kind of joy with pediatric nurse Lindsay Schweitzer. After years together, they married in 2025 and chose celebration without spectacle. Their relationship feels cheerful, grounded, and refreshingly real, now centered around home building, laughter, and a quieter life rooted in the Kansas City area. Ted Danson. Ted Danson, the silver-haired favorite of Cheers and The Good Place, found lasting ease with actress Mary Steenburgen. They married in 1995 after meeting through film, and their partnership has only grown richer with time. Built on kindness, activism, and companionship, their marriage now carries the serene glow of two seasoned souls choosing one another every day. Dylan McDermott. Dylan McDermott, the rugged leading man of The Practice and American Horror Story, once shared a glamorous, much-watched romance with Maggie Q. Their engagement ended in 2019, yet the pairing still lingers in memory for its elegance and chemistry. It remains less a story of permanence than of allure, timing, and a connection people never quite forgot. Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck, the mustached icon of Magnum, P.I. and Blue Bloods, found his lasting partner in Jilly Mack. They married in 1987 after meeting when she was performing in Cats. Their marriage has been guarded, grounded, and deeply domestic, with ranch life in California offering a picture of privacy, horses, family, and well-earned peace. Will Arnett. Will Arnett, the sharp-witted star of Arrested Development and BoJack Horseman, entered a later life chapter with Alessandra Braun. They were linked publicly in 2019 and welcomed a son, though reports later pointed to a split. Even so, the story can be told with maturity, emphasizing parenthood, responsibility, and the quieter ways family remains after romance changes shape. Steve Carell. Steve Carell, the gentle comic force of The Office and so many modern classics, built his real life around Nancy Carell. They married in 1995 after meeting in Chicago's improv world. Their marriage feels companionable, witty, and quietly durable, sustained by collaboration, 2 children, and a private home life that keeps fame firmly in its proper place. Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels, admired for both dramatic depth and easy comedy, built his most lasting partnership with Kathleen Rosemary Treto. They married in 1979 and kept home base in Michigan even as his career soared. Their marriage reads as deeply rooted, modest, and enduring, with small-town loyalty giving his life a steadiness Hollywood could never provide. Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer, the refined and unmistakable star of Cheers and Frasier, found a new beginning with Kate Walsh. They married in 2011 and built a bustling family life together. More than a reinvention, their marriage feels like a reset toward warmth, children, and home, with England and America both shaping their more domestic, grounded chapter. Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon, the steady, quietly handsome presence of NCIS and earlier television favorites, built an equally steady marriage with actress Pam Dauber. They married in 1987 and kept family life almost entirely private. That discretion became its own kind of strength, allowing their long union to feel calm, disciplined, and reassuring in a business rarely known for peace. David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff, the larger-than-life star of Knight Rider and Baywatch, found later-life romance with Haley Roberts. They married in Italy in 2018 after years together. Their relationship brings a lighter, more relaxed energy to this list, balanced by travel, affection, and the sense that love sometimes arrives again when life is already richly lived. Eugene Levy. Eugene Levy, the dryly brilliant heart of Schitt's Creek and American Pie, built his home life with writer Deborah Devine. They married in 1977 and raised a famously creative family in Canada. Their marriage feels smart, affectionate, and beautifully unshowy, now surrounded by grandchildren, shared legacy, and the calm confidence of a life built away from chaos. Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch, the piercingly intelligent star of Sherlock and prestige dramas, chose a quieter real life with Sophie Hunter. They married in 2015, bringing together 2 artistically minded lives. Their relationship feels elegant, private, and craft-centered, with family protected from glare, and the marriage itself shaped by intention rather than celebrity performance. Tony Danza. Tony Danza, the warm and familiar face of Taxi and Who's the Boss, once built family life with Tracy Robinson. Married in 1986, they later separated and divorced, yet kept their shared responsibilities intact. Their story is best told not as a lasting romance, but as a reminder that decency, co-parenting, and family ties can outlive marriage itself. Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe, one of television's most enduringly handsome stars, found real balance with Cheryl Burkhoff. They married in 1991 and built a stable family life that helped redefine his image. Their marriage feels practical, loyal, and mature, with California home life, 2 sons, and hard-won growth giving the relationship its lasting strength. Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler, forever beloved from Happy Days and generations of television afterward, found his steady match in Stacey Weitzman. They married in 1978 and built one of the industry's warmest long marriages. Their bond feels affectionate, humorous, and quietly resilient. Now enriched by children, grandchildren, charity work, and the simple comfort of growing older together. Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber, the rugged and quietly magnetic star of Ray Donovan, began a tender later chapter with Taylor Nyson. They married in 2023 after several years together and welcomed a daughter the same year. Their marriage feels calm, intimate, and deeply protective, centered on family and a private New York rhythm that stays far from noise. Christopher Meloni. Christopher Meloni, the intense athletic presence of Law & Order SVU, found lasting steadiness with production designer Doris Sherman Williams. They married in 1995 and built a busy but grounded family life. Their bond feels loyal, practical, and creatively balanced, strengthened by decades of work, 2 children, and a home life guarded from unnecessary spectacle. David Duchovny. David Duchovny, the brooding, intelligent star of The X-Files and Californication, entered a quiet new chapter with Monique Pendlebury. After years together, they married in 2025 without fanfare. The relationship feels discreet and grown, shaped by privacy and calm, with his present life now carrying a softer tone than the notoriety that once surrounded him. Ty Burrell. Ty Burrell, the lovable and grounded comic presence of Modern Family, built a steady life with Holly Burrell. They married in 2000 after meeting in theater circles and later adopted 2 daughters. Their marriage feels normal in the loveliest sense, centered on humor, parenthood, and a comfortable family routine far from the noise celebrity can bring. Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston, the intensely gifted star of Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle, found his long partner in actress Robin Dearden. They married in 1989 after meeting on set in the 80s. Their relationship feels playful, respectful, and built to last, with private family life giving balance to one of television's most celebrated careers. Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman, the sharp, quietly appealing star of Sherlock and The Office, has kept his relationship with Rachel Banessa largely out of view. Reportedly together since around 2020, they seem to favor discretion over display. That privacy gives the story a softer texture, suggesting companionship, work, and everyday life unfolding well beyond the camera's reach. Jimmy Smits. Jimmy Smits, the darkly handsome star of LA Law and NYPD Blue, has long shared his life with actress Wanda DeJesus. Though not married, they have remained together since the mid-80s. Their partnership feels private, artistic, and impressively durable, shaped by mutual understanding and a Los Angeles home life that resists unnecessary attention. Eric Braeden. Eric Braeden, the commanding and old-worldly star of The Young and the Restless, found lifelong love with Dale Russell Gudegast. They married in 1966 and built one of television's rare enduring unions. Their marriage feels rooted, loyal, and deeply traditional, with California family life providing a picture of stability that time only seems to strengthen. Edward James Olmos. Edward James Olmos, the distinguished force behind Miami Vice and Battlestar Galactica, once shared a creative marriage with actress Lamari Nadal. They married in 2002 and later separated, making their story more layered than some others here. Even so, it can be told with respect, emphasizing artistic kinship and the dignity of a meaningful chapter. Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler, the rugged all-American heart of Friday Night Lights and Bloodline, built his real life with Katherine Chandler. They married in 1995 and stayed anchored through the years by family, privacy, and shared values. Their marriage feels grounded and quietly admirable, now often pictured through Texas land, animals, and an unhurried pace of life. Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld, the sharply observant architect of one of television's most famous comedies, found lasting partnership with Jessica Seinfeld. They married in 1999 and raised 3 children while building a charitable life in New York. Their marriage feels intelligent, organized, and stable, blending public success with a deliberate commitment to family and ordinary routines. Curtis Armstrong. Curtis Armstrong, beloved for his offbeat wit in Moonlighting and Beyond, built his home life with producer Elaine Aronson. They married in 1994 and quietly kept their marriage strong for decades. Their bond feels warm, companionable, and humor-laced, shaped by loyalty, family, and the kind of domestic steadiness that never needs applause. Benjamin Bratt. Benjamin Bratt, the striking star of Law & Order and Miss Congeniality, found a lasting match in actress Talisa Soto. They married in 2002 and built a low-key family life together. Their relationship feels elegant, private, and centered on devotion, with children and home life giving depth to a screen image once defined mostly by charm. Frankie Avalon. Frankie Avalon, the clean-cut teen idol who once lit up screens and stages, found his true anchor in Catherine K. Diebel. They married in 1963 and built an unusually lasting marriage through changing decades of fame. Their bond feels old-fashioned in the best way, rooted in family, loyalty, and the warmth of a very full household. Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie, the razor-sharp star of House with his dry wit and soulful reserve, built a famously private life with Joe Green. They married in 1989 and raised their family well away from spectacle. Their marriage feels intelligent, steady, and protective, giving his globe-spanning career a quiet home base anchored by routine and trust. James Redd. James Redd, remembered for his classic leading man appeal in North and South and Charmed, found his real partner in Wendy Kilborn. They married in 1988 after first working together. Their relationship feels gracious, family-centered, and quietly enduring. Now often imagined through the ease of Santa Barbara and a life shaped more by partnership than celebrity. Don Knotts. Don Knotts, the unforgettable comic spirit of The Andy Griffith Show, found late-life peace with Francie Yarbrough. They married in 2002 and remained together until his death in 2006. Their story is brief compared with others here, yet tender, private, and deeply human, offering a final chapter softened by care, companionship, and grace. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the rugged heartthrob of Grey's Anatomy, Supernatural, and The Walking Dead, built a grounded marriage with Hilarie Burton. After years together, they married in 2019 and made family their center. Their bond feels earthy, affectionate, and hardworking, now beautifully tied to farm life in New York's Hudson Valley. Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart, the master of deadpan from The Bob Newhart Show in Newhart, shared 6 decades with Virginia Ginny Quinn. They married in 1963 and built a marriage marked by faith, laughter, and deep constancy. Even after her passing, their story remains one of television's most cherished portraits of loyalty, family, and enduring devotion. Ben Stein. Ben Stein, with his unmistakable deadpan delivery and cerebral charm, built an unusual love story with Alexandra Denman. They married in 1968, divorced, then remarried in 1977 after finding their way back. Their bond feels reconciled and seasoned, carried through family life and a quieter existence between California comforts and Idaho calm. John James. John James, the handsome soap-era favorite of Dynasty and the Colbys, built a notably private marriage with Denise Coward. They married in 1989 and stayed focused on home rather than spectacle. Their relationship feels polished, loyal, and family-led, supported by children, consistency, and a life that never needed public drama to feel significant. Chris Cooper. Chris Cooper, the rugged and deeply respected actor of Lonesome Dove in adaptation, built his life with actress and writer Marianne Leone. Married in 1983, they endured devastating loss while staying devoted to one another. Their marriage feels resilient, soulful, and grounded, with Massachusetts home life giving their story a quiet, deeply human frame. Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith, the comforting patriarch of The Andy Griffith Show in Matlock, found lasting peace with actress Cindy Knight. They married in 1983 and remained together through his later years. Their bond feels gentle, faithful, and home-centered, best imagined through a quiet North Carolina life shaped by care, privacy, and old-fashioned devotion. Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron, once the blue-eyed heartthrob of Growing Pains, built his adult life with actress Chelsea Noble. They married in 1991 after working together and raised a large family grounded in shared beliefs. Their marriage feels sincere, value-driven, and enduring, shaped by devotion, children, and a life intentionally kept closer to home than spectacle. Larry Hagman. Larry Hagman, who moved from the playfulness of A Dream of Jeannie to the power of Dallas, shared nearly 6 decades with Maya Axelson. They married in 1954 and remained together until his death. Their marriage feels grounding and remarkably durable, with her steady presence softening the enormous demands of television fame and public life. James Arness. James Arness, the towering legend of Gunsmoke, found quiet companionship and lasting love with Janet Surtees. They married in 1978 and built a life far from Hollywood clamor. Their marriage feels peaceful, protective, and dignified, with California privacy helping preserve the calm, unshowy partnership that suited his imposing but gentle screen presence. Blair Underwood. Blair Underwood, the suave and polished star of LA Law and later television dramas, began a joyful new chapter with Josie Hart. They married in 2023 after knowing each other for many years. Their relationship feels mature, grateful, and quietly romantic, shaped less by spectacle than by friendship, finally turning into something lasting. Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson, forever linked to The Office, yet richer than any single role, built his personal life with writer Holiday Reinhorn. They married in 1995 after meeting in acting class. Their marriage feels quirky, thoughtful, and deeply grounded, now colored by writing, philanthropy, family, and a life that values meaning over display. Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill, the sturdy, familiar star of Married with Children and Modern Family, built a lasting marriage with actress Catherine Russoff. They married in 1986, reconciled after a separation, and raised 2 daughters. Their relationship feels calm, durable, and understated, supported by family routine, discipline, and a Los Angeles life kept sensibly private. Michael Landon. Michael Landon, the warm television patriarch of Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie, found his final partner in Cindy Clerico. They married in 1983 after meeting through work and built a blended Malibu family life. Though his death ended the marriage in 1991, the story still feels loving, domestic, and full of shared purpose. Jack Klugman. Jack Klugman, the gravel-voiced star of The Odd Couple, and Quincy, found enduring companionship with Peggy Crosby. After years together, they married in 2008 and spent his final chapters side by side. Their story feels modest, tender, and unadorned, centered on friendship, routine, and the quiet comfort of choosing simplicity over show business noise. Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo, with his soulful eyes and deeply humane screen presence, built a steady life with Sunrise Coyne. They married in 2000 and held fast through illness, parenthood, and demanding careers. Their marriage feels tender, resilient, and full of mutual care, now beautifully imagined through family rhythms and upstate New York farm life. From first crushes to silver-haired legends, these men prove that real romance is not measured by headlines, but by loyalty, patience, and the life built after applause fades. Which love story stayed with you most? Share your thoughts below and come back for more timeless stories of television, devotion, and lives well lived.